Welcome in, everyone. I hope everybody's had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Enjoyed some treats, maybe some sweets, some friends and some family, the cool weather, whatever it is you enjoy. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Unless you're foodie, in which case you enjoy things that are not very good. You probably should be trying to find better things to enjoy. Before we get started tonight, just want to put out my Docta disclaimer. Sometimes I forget to put this, but I am not really a doctor. If you think you need a doctor, please go get one. Especially if Chantel is watching this, because you probably do need a doctor at this point. Yeah, before I even say hi to the chat, has anybody else here been a little bit surprised by Foodie's lack of urgency on her health journey? Let me know what you think, because I don't want to spoil it, what I think. All right, let's see the chat. Let's see what we got in here tonight. Nutty the Squirrel, welcome in, Nutty. Nora Elise Pondu. Camp's encouraging her to eat all the foods from now on, right? I don't let Foodie get me upset. I treat it like entertainment. Hey, Rose, welcome in. Welcome, Met Oh My. Hello, Purple Spirit. And Dainty Gorilla, welcome in there. And hopefully everybody's having a wonderful holidays, whatever. And I've been enjoying some treats myself for the Christmas. I had a duck for Christmas. That was my big Christmas meal. Shared it with some family. We had a duck and we had stuffing. And when I make the duck, it comes out just perfect, because the way I do it is that I fry it in a pan. That's right. I fry the duck in a pan first to get the skin nice and crispy on the outside. And then I just about maybe 3 minutes on each side, and then the top and the bottom. Then I'll put it in the oven, basically the regular amount of time that it says for the weight on the packaging. And that really helps it come out nice and crispy and delicious. It comes out so good. And the thing I like to do is I like to dry it overnight. When I get it, I defrost it, because you get it frozen. And I'll defrost the turkey, the duck. And what I'll do then is I'll put some paper towels in it and salt it and let it sit in the fridge like over 24 hours and change out the towels until they come out dry, to get rid of all the excess water. So it really crisps up nice. Let's see. Nothing wrong with some duck, says Camp. Indeed. Glad you like it. After the past couple of days, I'm going to be eating plain lettuce with ice water for a week. Right, Nutty? I know. I'm at that point where I'm going to have to go back on some kind of a diet soon. I haven't gone too crazy, though. I haven't really gone too crazy. I haven't gained that much weight. I just want to get it out of my system. Welcome in, Susie Q. I almost missed you there. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Just hope you had a good winter. If you don't celebrate anything, whatever, Either way, Daisy Gorilla eating some guac chips and dip. Love this time of year for the food, right? The cool weather, regardless what you celebrate, it's a great time to enjoy some food, certainly, if nothing else. Just bought the avocados for some guacamole. Oh, welcome in, Rudy. 7:02 where you are. It's 8:04 where I am. Oh, geez. Yeah, I've actually always been fortunate. Well, maybe I should say fortunate. I've always gotten my duck from I've always hunted it at the grocery store. So I've never had to worry about fighting into bird shot. But I wouldn't mind having a fresh duck one of these days. That would be nice. But yeah, I feel like that would be, I know when you hunt the duck, they talk about it, you want to aim at the head so you don't get too much shot in the meat. Welcome in, Cart the Cart. Welcome in, Spooky Views. And welcome in, Sherry C333. Yes, indeed. Welcome in, everybody. So, we got a lot going on. And also, it may have even been Cart who said it, but I know somebody asked if we could get back to doing a little bit more of the food macros and the health content and things like that. And I think we should. I've been getting away from that a little bit myself, but not for any intentional reason. It's more because Chantel just has been not showing her eating as much on camera, and I don't know if it was one of my chatters or if I saw this in a different Reactors stream. I like to lurk some streams. Somebody pointed out that, and let me know, folks, you know what you think. And anybody watching, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I think the person said, I wish I could remember who said it, but maybe a few people have said it at this point, that Chantel is very good at manipulating what she wants the camera to see as far as how she eats. She when she wants people to think that she's struggling, that she's having difficulties, she shows herself eating a lot on camera. She doesn't call it a binge because of the rules. She can't call it a binge, at least not anymore. But she makes sure to show everybody how much she's been eating. And then she shows us all the stuff she bought. And even though she plays that game where, oh, this is Salah's chocolate, we all know full well that she's buying all that chocolate for her. Whereas now she's trying to act like, oh, these unicity supplements are working. I've turned over a new leaf. When she wants to act like she's doing the whole health journey thing, she shows herself eating 1 cup of soup like she did today. What she's eating off camera, well, the proof is this. Shouldn't her shape be changing if she's really dieting? I mean, she's been dieting for how many weeks now, allegedly? 3 weeks almost? Since she got the unicity, she alleges that she's been eating less, she's had more energy, she's been more active. At what point is she going to start losing some weight? Right? Like, that's how a diet works. If you're on a diet, eventually the weight's going to start coming off. So, Foodie, what's going on, Foodie? Are you dieting, or are you just showing us less food on camera? Because if your weight's staying the same, it's hard to believe you're actually dieting. And I'm not saying that to give you a hard time. I'm just don't want people to watch you who watch you to think they're crazy. Okay, so let me catch up on the chat now. Welcome everybody in. Oh, Susie says, I enjoyed my Christmas day. Part 2 is this Saturday with my sons and 2 granddaughters. Oh, fantastic. Yes, it was you. It was Cart. I'm going to start tracking macros. First time and don't know how to do it. Well, Cart, let me help you out, because it's something that I kind of take for granted. I think that's another reason why I've shied away from it a little bit, because it's something I've taken for granted. I've forgotten. It's been almost 3 years, or maybe even over 3 years. I can't even remember. It's been so long since I started my weight loss journey, you could say, my recent weight loss journey. Because when I was at my heaviest for a while, that was about 3 years ago now. It took me about a year to lose it, and I've kept it off about 2 years approximately. So yeah, it's just been so long since I've really been focused on it 100%. Now I'm just kind of been in the maintenance mode. So yeah, but maintenance mode is still, that's important nutrition. I mean, in fact, if you want to look at it realistically, I spent 1 year dieting, 2 years on maintenance. So the maintenance is really more important than the diet, right? Because I spent more time on that than the other. Welcome in, Nirvana. Welcome in, Gigi. Yeah, most people know it's a lie. She's getting bigger. Exactly. Gigi, she looks even bigger. The unicity, is it working? Welcome in, Blondie. Oh, well, you know what? YouTube is doing it's a Christmas miracle. YouTube is doing something good for a change, right? She's gotten bigger since coming to Canada. I'm not going to say she's gotten bigger, but she has not gotten any smaller. She might have gotten bigger. I don't know. I don't know, but I think she might have. She might have, Susie. We're going to watch some videos. I've been a little bit lax on watching the recent videos. When she can't even fit in the Kia anymore, then we'll know, right? Kimbalena, formerly Timu. Oh, that is Timu VBJ, the little picture. Oh, I like it. Very cute, very cute. Yeah, Chantel wishes she had access to a Timu BBJ. That's exactly, okay, glad you agree, Blondie. She's on a foodie diet. She eats what she wants and imagines she's dropping the pounds. All right, I'm glad I shouldn't say I'm glad you're in agreement, but I'm glad we're seeing the same thing. If Chantel is really dieting, she should be losing weight thoroughly. Yeah, get a scale and a MyFitnessPal. That's another great thing to do. If you're working on your weight, some people don't like to use scales because they have a negative history with scales, or for whatever reason. So there's no requirement to use a scale, but I do like a scale. And if you like using a scale, I think that's a good tool. What app do I use? I actually don't use an app for tracking my macros. It's been so long. I didn't track them 100% accurate. I would just write down for my meals, like the number of calories and the grams of protein. I didn't actually track my fat and carbs. I didn't have like I didn't really have like any like health issues necessarily. My issues were really like I just looked at okay, I tried to keep it as simple as I could because when I first started, I was also learning about it. So I guess that's another thing that's worth pointing out is when I first started my diet is when I didn't know as much as when I got toward the end of when I was doing the maintenance. By that point, I'd really been doing it for a while. So yeah, I just kept track of the protein and stuff. So if anybody has a suggestion, I'd be open to hearing it. I probably should look into that and find some good apps. But yeah, just definitely worth writing it down. I'm old fashioned, but if there's an app that helps you, absolutely. Hey, Tucker and friends, welcome in. Yeah, so welcome into anybody I've missed. Takes the cake, welcome in. Yo, hope you're having a good Christmas. Merry Christmas. I love that little picture there. It's so festive. She whipped out a large sandwich in her car today. I got to catch up on this stuff because I try to watch a little bit, but I know that if I'm going to watch it with you folks, I want my reaction to be authentic. So I like to watch it the first time with you. Like I'll watch a little bit of it on my own, but if I'm going to find something, but sometimes it'll be funny. Geez Louise. Well, Blondie, I don't know why that is, but maybe YouTube decided that they're gonna do me a gift for Christmas or something. I don't know. Yeah, eating fast food off camera. I am sure of it, Nutty. I am sure of it. I just where's the weight going, right? Good point, Purple Spirit. She's fitting in her outfits differently. We're so used to seeing her in those big bulky abayas, we kind of forgot what her body looked like. But now she's got these bras or whatever that kind of push up her boobs and they sit on her belly so they stick up more and it's given her like a slightly different shape, which is a better shape. I mean, I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with having some boobage, but it's not like it's just making her look bigger. You know what I mean? It's not like making her. It's not giving her an hourglass shape. You know what I mean? It's just making her look big. All right. Food scale. Okay, yeah, food scale. That's actually a really good one, Kimbalena, especially if you're not good at estimating, because I've been doing diets forever. I'm like 40. I was doing diets since I was like 10 years old. I would help my mom measure her food for her diet, and I would get put on diets and stuff. So I've been doing diets since I was a little kid. I would used to use the food scale back then. So I got pretty good at estimating the size of foods. And a lot of times when you buy foods, they'll have the measurements listed. And what you can do, an easy way to figure out a measurement without a scale is like, say you buy something and it'll be like, okay, this is 16 ounces of chips. And it'll say there's 16 servings in there. Break it up into 16 equal servings. Each one is exactly 1 ounce. Using, fractions, breaking things up into equal portions. That's a good way to measure stuff if you don't have a scale handy. Maybe Rudy likes that one. The more mathematically inclined would like that. Eating smaller meals, exactly, a great start. We're going to get to a video in just a second. In fact, geez, I got to catch up on some of this chat. Okay, so when she tries to put oh yes, that's right. She doesn't want to come back to Kuwait now. Welcome in, Denise, and welcome into anybody I missed. My apologies. It's the backup sandwich. Yes, please hit the thumbs up if you're happy. Oh, Mel My likes used MyFitnessPal, lost 94 pounds since July. Wow, I know you've been doing well, Mel My, but that is a shocking amount of weight loss. That is just fantastic. And since July, that's only what, like 6 months? That's only 6 months. That is, wow. Wowie, wow. Just, whatever you're doing, you got to figure it out. I hope, Foodie can learn something from you over there. A whole bag of food on the Kia floor, right? Just the crumbs on the floor could fill an entire meal. Oh, welcome in, very welcome, Takes the Cake. And welcome into anybody I missed. My apologies. There you go, Nirvana. There you go. Within 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks, depending how serious you are, you could definitely see results as soon as 4 weeks. But a more conservative estimate for somebody who's not maybe as serious, I think 90 days. I think even if you're doing it very casually, in 90 days, you should see a real result. Even if you're just like doing like one workout a week kind of stuff, you'll see a result, I think, in 90 days. If you do it seriously, you'll see it more quickly. It also depends on other factors as well. The more weight you have to lose, the faster it'll come off. She hasn't cleaned it yet. No, mine looks fantastic. Take your word for it. Oh, you're a little bit biased, Camps, to be fair. But I will take your word for it. I believe you. No, but that is wonderful, though. That is fantastic. Um, you need the scale. You know what? Nothing wrong with using the scale, Kimbalena. And the scale, the more you use it, the less you're going to need it. Because eventually you're going to get to the point where you're going to be able to do it by eye. But in the beginning, the scale is definitely the way to go. And it's a really good way to teach yourself what different sizes of foods look like. She's going to have to use the king-size bed sheets. Those abayas actually showed off her body even more. Jeez, I want to show some video. Here. I don't want to just talk. I mean, I could do chat all night. I love doing the chat, but I want to do some video too. Let me put on one of the foodies, the ones that I wanted to talk about. Hold on a second here. My apologies, everybody. Let me pull up the foodie video. I thought I had it up. Oh, here's something I can put on in the background while I go through chats. Something about Pete's. Pete's whining about Christmas. There we go. Piggy, I'm going to put a link to the clip because Piggy is awesome. A great channel here. All right, let me put this in. I'm going to catch up on the chat. And I'm going to let this play real quick. I'm going to share this. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, documented
anyway,
to
I tried
user.
listening to some Christmas music today.
Let me put up the volume.
Tried like looking on YouTube for like indie rock Christmas music. It's kind of amazing just how much I hate Christmas music.
Yeah, congratulations.
Humbug.
There's
Agree,
nothing,
Nutty.
absolutely nothing that.
Yes, Kimbalena.
No
that's,
way.
All right, I want to show you, but I also want to say this. That's how I started too. It took me a year to lose about 80 pounds. And at first, all I did was I just said, okay, I'm going to cut out the junk food. Because I was eating McDonald's, I was eating candy, I was eating everything I shouldn't. I was gaining weight. I wasn't just fat, I was fat and I was gaining. I was like Foodie. First thing I did is I got to stop gaining. I got to just stabilize my weight where I am, get used to not overeating such massive portions. That's what I had to do first, I decided. That is fantastic, Nora. I think that is going to be just when you have access to a real medical program. When you have medical needs, you need a medical program. If you're just trying to get in shape, you want to look better, then you can get like a nutrition coach. That's a little bit different. When you have actual medical conditions or something, and you have access to a medical coach, that's the way to go. Let me get caught up here. Yeah, absolutely. I think he is a little bit biased. That's okay. It's okay if you're a little bit biased. Oh, well, glad you enjoy it, Blondie. I just like having a mix, I like having a mix because I know people who watch a lot of people watch the replay, and I like to make sure that there's something for everybody in here. And welcome into anybody watching the replay and anybody watching. Pizza's a waste of time. He is. We're gonna cut through this pretty quickly. Okay, how tall am I? I am just over 5'10", just barely. I lied, say I'm 6 feet though on the internet because everybody else lies. So like when I did the online, but yeah, in reality, I'm only 5'10". But it's a real 5'10". Throwing a few shots. Welcome in, Sunshine Country Chickens. Welcome in. Well, here's the thing. Nobody ever met me and ever questioned it. Nobody ever you're not really 6 feet, are you? They were just like, hey, I think they were so used to everybody else lying that they were just like, hey, you're taller than the last guy who said he was 6 feet. I'm just gonna leave that unsaid. All right. Okay. So yeah, Pete's
To actually make Christmas music that I actually enjoy.
This just goes to show what a humbug he is. What a Scrooge. This is a very short video. We're gonna let it run.
Chinese food for Christmas Eve? Nah. I mean, it's.
There's something funny here, though.
So, and honestly, Cornwall doesn't have good Chinese food.
Pete swears Cornwall does not have good Chinese food. You know what a sophisticated palate he has, right?
So, and honestly, Cornwall doesn't have good Chinese food.
No.
Canadianized Chinese food, and by that standard, it's very delicious. I love the fried rice. I love the broccoli. I love the chicken balls with sweet and sour sauce. The chicken wings. Oh my gosh, they have good chicken wings. They're like fried garlic chicken wings. I can't wait. So
This is Piggy, by the way, who did this video. This is Piggy's video, not my video. I'll put the link to Piggy in the chat. If you're watching the replay, click on Piggy's link in the chat. Piggy's vids are hilarious.
Yeah, like just to give you an example of how poor Cornwall's Chinese food scene is, Skip the Dishes, which is like Uber Eats, like the local like, Skip the Dishes, which is like a Canadian version of Uber Eats. It doesn't even have a
Welcome in, no word, Ash.
for
It's
Chinese.
true.
Would I eat a pickle on stream? I mean, I have nothing against pickles. Like, I'm fine with pickles. I never pick them up for myself. Do we even have a Chinese place that delivers in Cornwall? I don't know. I guess my mom.
Welcome in, bot. Another one, react my wife. only the most advanced technology. Welcome in, Chatty Charlie. Hope you had a wonderful holidays too. And yes, blessings and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to anybody who's come in. Oh, and a happy Hanukkah to anybody who celebrates Hanukkah. I don't think I wish anybody a Hanukkah this year. Right? Agreed. And when even Pete's says it's not that good, although Pete doesn't really like much of anything, but if even Pete's says that it's not that good, and Foodie is raving about it.
I mean, I don't know what time I'll be leaving, but yeah, I'll be seeing her on Christmas Day.
There you go. Happy Kwanzaa too.
Probably leave probably head over there sometime in the evening. Probably head over there like early evening. Just because the fact that I worked, like the fact that it's a weird schedule that I live on. It's a really fucked up schedule that I live on. Yeah, I'll be seeing him too. So yeah, it'll probably be like early evening that I head over there, just because that's when I'll be getting up.
If Pete gets up in the early evening, he's kind of like a vampire. Except nobody would ever invite him in.
My shift is 5:30 in the evening until 2 in the morning. How do you find time?
Respect to him for working, though. Respect to Pete's for working a steady job. I didn't know that he was working a steady job, so if that's the reason why he sleeps oddly, I don't want to make fun of him for that. I'll take that back.
Helps when you don't have any.
What do you say? Helps when you don't have any friends?
5:30 in the evening until 2 in the morning. How do you find time for your friends? Helps when you don't have any.
Right? Definitely helps not to have friends.
Onions add really good flavor to a lot of food. Yeah, every once in a while I'll pick up like some vegetables, dip, and
Oh, welcome in, Joanna. And welcome into anybody I've missed. My apologies. Oh, it was yesterday. Okay, I knew it was around this time. I know that I haven't really bothered to look at calendar. I know Hanukkah lasts about a week, so yeah. Go rent your own place, Pete. Although to be fair, he seems to be happy here. They seem to be tolerating him, right? I mean, at least the advantage of Pete's being here is he's not somewhere else. Wherever he is, he's obviously with, not more than they can tolerate. If he went somewhere else, it would be even worse. Yeah, Salah will be heading over there very soon. Yeah, it's actually sad that Pete has no friends. I guess that is kind of a shot at Foodie. That is kind of a shot at Foodie, to be fair, because he always did say she was his best friend, even when best friend forever, best friends forever, even if he never sees her again, right? If anybody could get Salahbot citizenship, oh, all right, he's already turned it down. Not gonna happen. Yeah, welcome in again, Joanna. Pete's does do it to himself. Pete's is the worst. He is just like, even people, so many people have reached out to him for various reasons, either because they don't like Chantel or because they pitied him for one reason or another. And he has pushed away everybody, even people who are, are basically unconditionally, willing to tolerate him basically unconditionally. Even he's pushed away pretty much everybody who doesn't just kiss his butt at all times. Ed Foodie, that's it. Anybody who, like Joanna, you must be a nice person because you tried, but yeah, you saw where that got you. There you go. Yeah, that's the thing about Pete. He's very vulgar. Like I watch clips of him. I don't watch his shows directly, but anytime I've tried, he can't go like 2 minutes without saying bad words, bad language, and it's not. And a lot of times he's cursing people. It's one thing to use some bad language just because that's your style. You know, it's some people, they just whatever. You know, that's just their habit. I used to use a lot of profanity when I was younger. It was just my way of speaking, but he's cursing people directly, like the way he said, your mom, you know, like he says that stuff. He thinks that's funny. And if you know somebody well, it can be funny, but don't talk like that to a stranger. That's rude. There you go. Oh, welcome in, Archie. Good to see you again. I haven't seen you for a while there. Hope everything is good for you. He didn't push Foodie away. She left him like a vegetable on the plate, right? Yeah, not my cup of tea either. Yeah, Blondie. A lot of people reached out to him. I did not even try. I don't even. Yeah. No, Denise. That's a very it's a very good way to look at it. Because really, like anybody who can be this toxic and push away everybody, but somehow be best pals with Chantal. That, I mean, if that does not say everything, what else does, right? The Three Musketeers. I know she had the Holy Trinity for a while there. Her loyalist Beezers. He's bitter the Buffalo got away. Yeah, right. That's the other thing too. He's always whenever he does have people who might, you know, get along with him, he always has to say something controversial, something political. He's always trying to get, you know, start trouble. But whatever. I've enough Pete's. I'll just let the video run out.
Like a brick of cheese. I'm still fine with the taste of turkey. It's just, I will say, I've gotten tired of turkey leftovers. I don't eat potato or macaroni salad. So.
Oh my God! Are you serious, Joanna? His chat is down to one person. Last time I checked, it was like 30, 40 people. It was, or at least 20 something. It was like a decent number of people in there, and I don't think they were all trolls. Although to be fair, I haven't checked his chat for months and months and months. But wow, he's down to one. He's pushed every single person out of there because he had a big group of people who would just basically support whatever he did, just to stick it to Foodie. Yeah, that's he deserves to not have anybody supporting him. Yeah, the heck with Pete's. Really, the hell with that guy. Forget the heck. I'll say the hell with him. I'm not going to watch my language for him because he wouldn't watch his language for me. The hell with you, Pete's. Welcome in, Lady Nighthawk. Absolutely, Nora. He is so obnoxious and toxic that even the people who would agree with him on just about everything, he probably still finds something to piss them off with. Even the people who probably agree with him on just about everything, he could still find some way to get them upset. So yeah, he is just the worst. That's why I don't even show much about him.
Turkey. But I had hit a point where it's like, I don't want leftovers. You know, I'll eat it the day of, and then it's like, yeah, I don't really want multiple days of turkey. Just give me the one day, just give the one night of turkey, and then I don't really want to be eating it for the next 2-3 days afterwards as well.
Okay.
Yeah, roast beef is what we're doing this Christmas, is why we're doing a
all right, so he gets a couple people, but it's basically dead in there. Well, you know what? I think it's what he deserves.
My brother's decision. Would I visit Montreal? Yeah. I mean, I've been there before. It's
that's what he deserves.
I was born in Montreal. Montreal's the best place in Canada. You're probably right. Multicultural Montreal, or is that Toronto? They're both actually pretty multicultural. Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver.
Welcome in, Detective Cochise. Yeah, absolutely. He's got to learn that lesson. I'm still working on that one. I've learned it better than when I was a kid, at least. But yeah, he really is, because he's a great example of that, Detective. Because he had a whole chat room full of people who just wanted to get along with him. They really did. He is dry and bland. Oh, yes, indeed, Hannibal. Thank you very much. And Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Hope you're having a great holiday. Yes, everybody, please be sure to check out the House of Hannibal as well. He does a great show most nights. I know he covers a lot of King Cobra. King Cobra, I've actually been watching him a little more lately. I've been lurking a little bit. So that's definitely something we're checking out. But yes, thank you very much. He gets trolls too. Well, he deserves trolls. Pete's does. If anybody deserves some trolls,
are all pretty multicultural cities. And Ottawa, actually. Yeah, I would honestly be
Welcome,
kind of inclined
detective.
to agree that Montreal is probably the best city in Canada. You know, like Toronto's bigger, Ottawa's the capital, but Montreal is just, it's a very special city, it feels like. So thanks for coming. And I'll see you tomorrow for Christmas Eve itself. Good night, everybody.
That would make for a great interview if you can get Blade over there, Hannibal. I don't know if you're working on that, but I fully support that idea. Okay, yeah, that's the end of Pete's there. Okay, so Salah has been a reaction channel. Here's the two main subjects for tonight. I'm not going to just rehash everything I know a lot of people have already seen, but I am going to show some of Salah's latest vid because he's a reaction channel. I normally don't react to reaction channels, but I'll make an exception for Salah. And then I'm also going to be doing a classic foodie retro react where she eats for like a bunch of junk food and she's really high. Like what I think she's not showing us, right? Because I remember I said how she's only showing us what she wants us to see now. What I think she's not showing is just the endless munchies and gorging off camera. So let me pull up the recent Al Sultan Salah video. Let me just get it out of my my queue here. One moment. Yeah, he's been doing like this whole series regarding garlic bread. I don't have anything to say about garlic bread. I don't know the guy. Like I said, I don't talk about other reactors. But I'm making an exception for Salah. So whatever's between garlic bread and him, that's between the two of them. Same thing with whatever he says anything about FFG, that's between him and her. I don't get in between anything like that. Yeah, that's between them. But I am gonna watch it. let's hear what he has to say. Okay, so let me share the screen. 1 second here. I don't want to forget to share it this time. And then, also, does anybody by chance think Salah's videos have been just a little bit suspect? I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about it that may think he may have had some help writing the vid.
It's by harassing Foodie Beauty. How about you go and buy a Victoria's Secret push-up bra?
Welcome in, welcome in.
Have a lot of sale.
All right, that's the low-hanging fruit suggesting Victoria's Secret push-up bra. Yeah, I don't think anybody. I think garlic bread has a better chance of fitting in Victoria's Secret bra than Chantel does. But so does Salah for that matter. All right, let's keep going.
What's going on, guys? Hello everybody, welcome again to a new video roasting this moron little manlet called Ryan Moody, aka Garlic Breath. Hey Garlic, I'm so upset cause you failed.
All right, let me catch up on the comments real quick. Okay, maybe we'll check that out too. Let me just catch up. Sal's attempts at reactions is very reminiscent of second graders on a playground. I have a conspiracy theory, Nutty. Yo Mama's script? I think the script is from Foodie. But you think it's from Yo Mama. It could be Yo Mama. It could be Foodie working with Yo Mama. I didn't consider that. Oh, hold on a second. I am wrong. We have the actual we have the proof in here. The artificial intelligence known as Salah has contradicted me. So scripted perhaps. I think it's Foodie. Gonna press charges if the whispering doesn't stop. It sounds like he's making an obscene phone call almost, right? He's posting almost daily at this point. Boom, right? Shut down my my conspiracy theory. All right. Enough body shaming. Enough body shaming. We've got Foodie to do. We got to
Failed again
shame.
to respond to the details of my previous videos. I know you don't have the nerve to answer them, but at least try to be a man and show even some highlights of them. Anyway guys, hit that like and subscribe and let's get into the video to see what this moron got to say again.
The first thing that I love about this is the like and subscribe and everything. And hey, while you're at it, please like and subscribe subscribe to the channel and please click like on my video if you're enjoying it. But I don't make any secret of the fact that I enjoy doing reactions. And I also like to do health content as well. I'm going to get to that after this. But I thought Salah was defending his wife. Why does he care if people subscribe if all he's doing is defending his wife? I guess he wants more people to know that he's defending her. I don't know. But it just seems like he's trying to become a reaction channel. But I'm going to just say this. And Chantel, I know you watch sometimes. Be careful what you wish for, Chantel. If Salah becomes a reaction channel and then he splits from you, all of those subscribers will be watching his videos about you next. So be careful building Salah's channel because you may be building a noose to hang yourself. What do you folks in the chat have to say about that? That his voice craft, manlet is a foodie word for sure, right? It's a short bus team effort. That's how he practices. He uses them for the, it's like a boxing trader, like hitting the bags. And welcome in to anybody I missed. My apologies. What's up with fuckered asshole? Let's welcome in Jessica Rizzo. I don't know. I guess they were concerned that garlic bread was just too attractive naturally. I think that's what it was. I think Foodie was intimidated by his luscious natural lips, so she had to cover them up with the artificial ones. I don't know. Yeah, right. No, we talk trash about everybody here. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do any dude selfies. All right. She only buys Victoria's Secret for self. She is a sexy gal. Welcome in, Nancy. It is so bad. Yes. Welcome in, Quixie. He's trying to protect his chance of getting his green card. I think he's protecting his monthly allowance. Like I wrote in my description of the video. I think Salah gets a monthly allowance. I think he gets the script attached to it. And it says in the check with the allowance, it says, 100 Kuwaiti dinar. And then in the little thing at the bottom, it says for 3 reaction videos. And also just the language, the diction. These aren't his words. He could do his own reaction video. He could criticize garlic bread. He could do his own video, but this isn't the language he would use. He would be saying stuff like, "Oh, go." He'd say, trying to think. He'd say KYS. He would say, what else would he say? He'd say you're gay or something. I don't know. That's like what he says. I'm just trying to think. What are the insults that Salah uses in the past? Oh, it's okay, Jessica. No, believe me. I don't like to. Believe me. This is a show. I don't think there's anybody under 18 watching this show. We can use whatever language you want here. Oh, I mean, come on. Wouldn't you? Look at those lips. He's looking sexy there. Lips and the beard combo. Looks like a baboon's butt. Her hand weighs 200 pounds. Okay. And you know what? I will say that I actually kind of like that, Kimbalena. If Salah is going to go after somebody, go after the guys. That's part of, even when I go after Foodie, I still kind of go at her a little differently than say somebody like FFG or Skinny, because it's just, I see it differently. I come at her a little different. And I think, respect for, staying in his lane. Let's leave it like that. Okay, so let's let it go.
And then we will react to it. And don't forget to get your popcorn ready while you're watching. Have fun.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. And if there's one thing I think we can all appreciate, it's when a plan backfires. I mean, isn't that why we love to watch Roadrunner and Coyote? We used to love watching the Coyote daydream, these incredible ideas and schemes to trap the Roadrunner, and that all collectively
and purely to be respectful, I got to give the link, just because I always give a link to the vids. I'll give the link to Salah's vid. And by the way, Foodie, like I said, be careful, because you got to realize when you stop sending him those checks, he's going to turn his channel into an anti-Foodie channel. And we're all going to be watching it. At least till he stops making videos about you.
When he failed miserably right in front of our face. And if there's been one person who's been the Coyote of Girl World for the past couple days, it's been none other than Salah.
Alright, so if you think I'm inserted in her world, not because I love it like you do, I'm here just to defend my wife against the kind of trash human being like you and the other morons. And oh, by the way...
And also, yes, I know you're... Nirvana, did Detective, here, Nutty, you said it here. It's a joke, but seriously, if Salah really loved his wife, and let's pretend for a second, I'm gonna put myself in Salah's shoes. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm married to a woman I love. She's the love of my life, but she's 300 pounds overweight. She's dying from diabetes. She's got enlarged liver. She's got enlarged heart. She has all these serious medical problems. She calls me up and she says, hey, Dr. Phil, you love me so much, I need you to do me a favor. What's that, babe? I need you to attack some guy on the internet for me. Do some videos attacking him on the internet. I would say, what about your health? Didn't you go to Canada to get your diabetes under control? Isn't this supposed to be about your health? Didn't you say that you were going to get weight loss surgery and get your blood sugar under control? Why are you stressing yourself about some guy on the internet? Isn't this like the most unimportant thing in your life? Forget about him. No, of course not. Because he is not her husband. He's her employee. There's a difference. Yeah, and he's going to make bank once he ditches Foodie. Like, I'm not encouraging him to do it because I don't, when it happens on its own, it's going to be a lot funnier. But yeah, he's absolutely going to ditch Foodie at some point, and it's going to be hilarious watching them it's going to be like rats running off a ship, and I'm just not sure who's going to be the ship and who's going to be the rat. No insult to Howie. Yeah. Yes, welcome in, Detective. Welcome in, everybody. Only respond to these hated zombies and defend wife. Absolutely. We are the, what'd she call us? Zombie seagulls? Zombie vultures.
Woody, in case you haven't noticed, the community you belong to is called Girl World. Emphasis on the word girl. Mm-hmm. So, what are you doing here, girl?
Proof she has an enlarged heart, Salah, that she has enough room for love for you, for Howie, for Julia, and all the Beezers. Only an enlarged heart could hold that much love.
As he's been screaming into his little text microphone.
Oh, it's called Snowball.
You know something else? Even though that's basically kind of like what Foodie does, he does try to make a couple points. Foodie, if he was just doing it on his own, he would just do nothing but insult.
Old microphone with $50, which you can get them of making 2 or 3 videos of harassing the woman. Garlic boy. And by the way, I'm not screaming at all. I'm just laughing hard at the level of your ignorance.
No, are you serious?
Barely reading the script that his wife wrote him.
Bro, how many times did you say this sentence? You are really boring AF. I don't know how some people watching you, to be honest.
Going after any reaction channel he can.
First time.
You know something? I consider myself I don't consider myself a member of Girl World. It's like Montel Williams did daytime TV for women, but he was still a guy. Dr. Phil, the original Dr. Phil, the bald Dr. Phil. He he was on Oprah's show. I'm on Skinny Queen's show sometimes, right? I mean, it's just there's a long history of people giving their commentary. I mean, and how many times do they, on a lot of men's shows, they'll try to get a lady's perspective. I think that's a good thing as long as people, have something interesting to offer, right? So I don't think that's automatically a bad thing.
In my life,
I mean, that's not to say it never ends up being weird, because sometimes it can be weird. But
I hear about this. The one who is self-defending himself against the people who came after him is called going after them. In which dictionary or library you found this?
Well, Blondie, I mean, I'm being very hypothetical here, but yes, you're correct.
Maybe it's time to log off and go educate yourself, garlic breath. And I promise that I will be here waiting for you. And if you're aware, I have responded to you about this point in my previous video. But obviously you are trolling, and I'm here to troll back the shit out of you, loser.
Most people...
Yes, Jessica, the loser. I'm here to troll the shit out of you, loser. I'm hearing, so it's like this is Foodie's song, and Salah is just playing the instruments. You know what I mean? Salah is singing Foodie's song. He's just doing the lip syncing here. This is so Foodie's words. Like close your like Jessica just said. She can hear it in Chantel's voice. Imagine you're hearing this in Chantel's voice and tell me it does not sound exactly like her. Close your eyes, pretend it's Chantel, and tell me it doesn't sound exactly like her. Come on, you know it.
The community have came to the conclusion that this is nothing more than fabricated drama for views and attention that they both desperately need to generate the income from YouTube that she's never quite been able to recapture on her own.
All right, it's Salah. You've inspired me actually to work on. I do have to put up my piano clips. You're right about that. I do have to put my money where my mouth is on that one. You're right. I mean, I thought Foodie could do both, but apparently not. Actually, to be fair, Salahbot, if you could get this message back to your programmer, I actually don't think you're that bad at keyboard. I mean, it's obviously like not like traditional classical piano. It's but for like the Middle Eastern style like dance, I don't think it's bad. Yeah, exactly. It's all Chantel's doing. Absolutely. And I don't know what he's trying to laugh at here, because these number of views are not that far off the views that Chantel herself gets. Like, if he wanted to make fun of my channel, all right, fine. I only get a few hundred views. Make fun of me. But Chantel doesn't get, like, more than 8,000 views on her own videos, does she? Like, that's all she gets. Yes. Yes.
There's no words to describe this for real. It's clearly showing that you are a cloud chaser who desperate for views and money. And I'm here to expose the worthless people like you.
But the plan has backfired because, if you didn't know, Salah came out and said that
the triple black belt medalist, was that what it was? I actually forgot about that for a minute. And he also is an acclaimed filmmaker. He's done a love documentary. You are not the daddy of Chantal. That's right. If we had Murray on here, Murray was another one. Maury, excuse me. Steve Wilkos. There's so many. There's so many. There's so many out there, you know. But like, yeah, there's a lot of like. I love that daytime TV stuff, and that's why I don't get too upset with Del.
Gonna be challenged.
I treat her like a guest on Jerry Springer. You know, does Jerry Springer get mad at the guests even when they are kind of like crappy people? I mean, maybe sometimes a little bit, but it's not like he lets it, you know, bother him after the end of the day.
To turn monetization off for a month.
Yeah, and I'm so disappointed that you didn't accept the challenge, because you're such a coward. If you turn your monetization off, you're gonna starve, as I said before.
Because I told him I turned monetization off on a response video to him, and I told him that he wouldn't turn his monetization off on a response video to me. So somehow, much like when he was at the gym lifting those 5-pound plates, Salah thought...
I don't get the controversy though about the monetization. Like, does Foodie claim that she doesn't do her channel to monetize it? Like, she's always called it her job. She says making videos is her job. So why would she be upset if people who react to her videos get any kind of income or support off of it? Speaking of which, actually, let me give a shout out to some over the past year. I've had some really great supporters. In particular, Icy has really come through with a lot of donations. But we had a few people though who come through with donations over the years. So everybody who's come through with the donation, I just want to say thank you to all the folks. I don't have everybody individually, but I know all the people who came in on Cash App, though. It was Icy, we had Skinny, we had some anonymous people in the YouTube chat. We had, we had Camps, we had a couple other people, but thank you everybody throughout the year. I don't remember every single person, but thank you though so much to everybody. My Cash App link really quickly. I do have the link on my page if anybody's interested. Never required. Never required. They're jealous reactors and make more than them. Agreed. Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, some of the original ladies of daytime television, Sally Jesse, right? I remember all these shows. Montel, she is a food model. She takes her very seriously. You know, Joanna, that is so silly because the reactors actually put more attention on Chantel, in my opinion. I don't think they cost her a single view. There's nobody who watches this channel and is like, oh, well, now I don't need to watch Chantel. Anybody who really watches Chantel, like regularly, doesn't watch my channel, or they also watch my channel. There's nobody who watches my channel instead of watching Chantel. I just don't see that. I just don't see that. I don't think anybody does that. I don't think anybody watches Skitty instead of watching Chantel. I don't think anybody does that. Anybody, either you watch the reactors or you watch Chantel or you watch both. But you don't watch just the reactors instead of Chantel. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't watch just one instead of the other. Oh, you mean you wouldn't be giving those views to Chantel? You wouldn't, those aren't Chantel's views? All right. Yeah, Chantel, I watch her directly sometimes as a reactor, but I can't watch all of her videos completely. I mean, a lot of them are just too dull. I can watch some of them, you know. That's why I like these clip channels so much. Yeah, and exactly. Don't, like, as a reactor, it's one view, but if everybody, I mean, I can understand that. I'm not going to get into all that, but I totally understand that. That's part of why I use a lot of clip channels. But I really prefer the clip channels because they're short.
Some type of man flex to tell someone to turn off monetization for a whole month.
Let me speed this up a little.
When they couldn't do it for a single video.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something, Garlic Breath. I have a new deal for you. I will turn my monetization off in my next video if you show your face as a reaction channel as you claim to be. How about that?
Okay, the whole show your face thing I think is silly. They have his face here. I'm not going to talk about anybody else's face, but they have it. So, yeah.
I think it's kind of easy for you, am I right?
But FFG has responded.
Interesting. So after you got scared to lose the money on your channel, you brought up another channel in your video, and you stay away and hide from the war which you started? You are just proving day after day how coward and pathetic you are. Okay, go ahead.
You know, Nirvana, I'm kind of the same way. I kind of go wherever, you know, I don't like, because, yeah, I totally get you on that. I go where I go where the wind takes me.
And actually given them the biggest gauntlet they have ever had. So not only did she start by acknowledging how ridiculous it would be to turn monetization off for a whole month.
Do you mean this channel who whipped your ass before? And you was crying over her? I wish you didn't put yourself in this embarrassing situation. It's just...
See, this whole section here with the FFG, this is so not Salah. Like this, do you think Salah even knows any of this crap? Do you even think he knows who any of these people are? Like, this is just so clearly not Salah's work.
No comment.
She goes on to accept the challenge on my behalf, and in turn, challenge Chantal and Salah. Said that not only would she...
Yeah, so FFG jumps in here, and now all of a sudden Salah's like, oh, well, that wasn't, you know, that's not what I said.
Demonetize her channel for a whole month. She would actually go one step further and do the one thing we know Chantal has pretty much always asked for. And that would be to not even make content for a full month.
All right. So after we finish from roasting this grifter for
welcome
now,
to Skitty.
Let's move to the other point.
Oh, welcome to Skitty. And anybody, if you're not aware, Skitty Queen Reacts, fantastic channel. If you don't already follow her, please do.
FFG, here's my deal. And I'm gonna say it in front of thousands of people over here. We don't want you to demonetize your channel, because everybody knows that you live off the super chats anyway. But we will show our marriage certificate when you came up with your lumberjack you claim to have.
You know, Blondie, I think that it's fair to not show your face if you don't want to. But I think if you're not going to show yourself, I think it does kind of, you know, it kind of makes it. I feel more comfortable discussing, you know, other people, what they look like. If I'm going to put myself here, it's like, well, who are you going to, you know, you're going to talk about yourself, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't think that it's a requirement that anybody has to show their face to do a channel. I don't think that's required at all.
Show him to us and say hi to everyone.
So I agree with that. It's okay.
It's so freaking hilarious that you want proof of our...
As far as me, I don't have any opinion on any reaction channels. People here are entitled to like who they like, dislike who they like, and I don't have any opinion on any of that.
Marriage being real, while you will not even prove you're fake, Mr. FFG, right? And honestly, I don't know if you noticed that we don't owe you anything, and you can go back to being irrelevant to our lives.
Even if you were not shaped like a Christmas tree, you will still get a Merry Christmas wish from me.
How you gonna make fun of someone looks fat, boy, when you look like the typical pudgy basement troll living at mommy's house? Also, I wouldn't be comparing my beautiful wife to a Christmas tree when you clearly resemble a gnome or Christmas elf yourself.
You know, these comebacks are just sound like so much from Chantel. And I'm not going to even say whether or not any of them are good or bad, but they just so are. This is clearly from Chantel.
Oh, how cute a chubby little manlet. Get over yourself, and this Boxing Day, buy yourself a mirror. For God's sake, looks uncanny.
You know,
welcome to TLR.
I will be back as soon as I can.
Of course you're gonna be back soon, you little bum. You need to make that coin so bad.
With more content.
Correction here. You mean with more content.
Yeah, absolutely not a requirement.
Alright guys, so this was my response to these two
I think it's a nice if people choose to, but I don't think it's a requirement at all.
creatures and looking forward to hear their reply. And I hope they will not disappoint me again this time. Thank you all guys for watching and see you in the next one.
Chantel is secretly jealous. Oh, I think, you know something? We might have hit on some deep psychology here. Might be why Chantel is so like obsessed with FFG's, you know, this supposed lumberjack guy, because she wants to be him. She secretly wants, you know,
Have a lovely
secretly
day.
she wants FFG. Maybe. All right, now what you've all been waiting for. Now we're gonna get back to some classic Foodie content. So a bit of a retro react. Foodie getting high and eating. Basically doing what I think she's doing. Close this down. Okay. So let me stop sharing this tab. Let me share a different one. Yeah, he acts like his pay pig isn't 500 pounds. It's never good when you have to start your insults with at least. Right? You don't want to start your insults with at least. That's if you're doing that, you're on shaky ground. Welcome in, QZ. Welcome in. And welcome into anybody I missed. My apologies. Welcome into anybody watching the replay. Yeah, that Nova is kind of cute in like middle school, very middle school arguments. And what is even, and let's be serious for a second. What even is the argument? That people are reacting to Foodie? Like, is that what he's angry about? Like, what even was his central conceit? What even was his central conceit? Like, I know he did 3 videos, and I'm not going to go through all 3 of them, but if I remember correctly, his central complaint was basically, hey, don't react to my wife. Who are you to react to my wife? She's not even your wife, bro. She's not even your wife. And be honest, Salah, if she wasn't paying you, don't tell me you wouldn't be making fun of her too. Just being real. You know, I think that's what I'm saying there. I think that's the how sad. It's sad for Salad. The fact that he's throwing his online reputation, what little it is, away. I hope at least he's getting a decent check every month, right? Or every week, or I hope he's getting a decent check per video, something. You know what, Jessica? That's not a bad idea. If she's going to be paying him for these videos, she might want to pay for some lessons or for some coaching, because these videos are not, whatever she's paying him for the videos, they're not worth it. They are not worth it. Yeah, we can agree on that one, Skinny. We can absolutely agree on that one. Welcome in, Trolling. Hi, everyone. Absolutely. Welcome in, Trolling. Yes, let me pull up that classic Foodie vid. That's a classic one I'm going to pull up today. 1 second here. And we're going to talk about, and if anybody in the chat has a calorie, an app or a website that they can use to pull up calorie information on, it'd be a good idea to pull it up, because I'm going to be doing a lot of guessing. I'm going to try to pull some up using Google, which I have handy, but I don't really have like an app for every single item. So let me pull the thing here. Hold on. Foodie Beauty eats for 4 hours straight. All right, let me send you guys the link. This video's kind of old at this point. It's 2 years old. It's a retro video. This is, just to reiterate for anybody just coming in, we watched the video about from Salah, and we talked about how Foodie likes to manipulate what we see on camera. How she manipulates, let me put on my little teaser. How she manipulates what we see. When she wants us to feel like she's struggling, she shows us eating a lot. She shows us eating junk food. She shows us buying junk food. She shows us having no self-control when she wants us to think that she is struggling. When she wants us to think that things are going well. When she wants us to think that her unicity products are working, that she's succeeding on her diet, that she's controlling her blood sugar. What does she do? She puts the small portions on camera. Why am I saying that? What is my proof? Well, the proof is if you're on a diet, you're going to lose weight. Now, you could argue that it doesn't always show up on the scale. Well, eventually it shows up on the scale, unless you're gaining a lot of muscle. That's a different argument. But your clothes will start to fit better, regardless of what the scale says. You'll gain sizes on your clothes, at least. Foodie has been dieting for how many weeks now with the unicity products? How many weeks has she claimed that she's been trying to reduce her blood sugar? How many weeks has she claimed that she's been working on her health? She claimed that she went back to Canada specifically for the purpose of improving her health. So you think that she would at least be trying to limit what she's eating, right? A little bit? Well, according to what's on camera, she is. She showed that one bowl of soup the other day. But this is what I think is occurring off camera. This is what I think Foodie is eating off camera. I think she's getting high and eating for appetite.
I have a lot more stuff.
And this is back when Foodie was a lot smaller. Look how much smaller she is here.
Down there. I have to get it. Okay.
Oh, also, she's totally out of breath. She says, I have a lot of stuff down there. I still have to get it. So in other words, she actually carried some groceries. She is completely out of breath from carrying groceries. How many groceries did she carry?
Sandra, hold on.
She walked up all those many dozen stairs while carrying 5 pounds of food in sturdy bags with carrying handles. Give her a 10-minute rest to catch her breath, y'all.
Exactly. She walked up all those dozens of stairs. Is it even a dozen? Dozens? I think a dozen and a half maybe. 5 pounds of food in the sturdy handled bags with handles. She needs at least 10 minutes to catch her breath, y'all.
Okay. Groceries.
Money. That was his point. Yes. Thank you. That was his point. We still don't know what his real point was. It was money, though. Yeah, right? Agreed, Purple Spirit. If everybody stopped reacting about Chantel, I think that it would take a few weeks for her to really notice. But yeah, like a month. I think you're right. I think about a month. That sounds about right. Standing up against the bullying of obese women. That's right, Chatty Charlie. Salah is just a hero. He cares about he's a white knight. He cares about any woman anywhere being disrespected, especially his wife. And yeah, he had to stand up for her honor. That's what it was. The proof is in her belly and her chins. Classic narcissistic manipulation, right? Just showing us what she wants us to see. I'm sorry, Nutty. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it, Sunny Barbara. I'm glad you like my explanations. I always think about it if I was watching the replay I just came in right now and I just showed up in the middle. What's going on, right? So I always like to give a little recap. Yeah, but the weight would be coming off, especially considering how much weight Chantel has to lose. When you have that much excess body fat, even if she ate 3,000 calories a day, she'd be losing weight. Keep that in mind. Because she right now weighs about 500 pounds. But even if she didn't weigh 500, let's pretend that her lie is correct, that she really only weighs 380. She could still eat 3,000 calories a day and not gain weight. She had stairs back then for exercise, and still. But you know something? We could joke all we want, but she was in better shape. It's not a coincidence that she gained over 100 pounds in Kuwait when she didn't need to take stairs anymore. She's absolutely huge. Now, she's massive. But back then, she was still very big. Stairs can be a blessing in disguise. I have to agree with that, Chatty Charlie. Oh, does anybody else think that Foodie is going back to Kuwait soon, or if she's just talking smack? I think that she wants to go back, but I don't know if she's going to be allowed in there soon. Stairs are not fun, but it's like one of those things that's good for you, even if you don't like it. Just carried a bag of KFC up the stairs. I think her attitude is if she eats some of it before she carries it, it'll weigh less. Salah likes the big ones. Maybe he does. Well, I mean, he's a leg man, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. I think maybe that was a little bit too direct. You know, he could have said you have nice shape, maybe. I don't know. But he attacks women on YouTube all the time. Joanna, don't be so logical. You're being too logical. Falling into the broken chair, as always. Let me get back on the video.
Some crispy rice. Because I'm going to make...
crispy rice. Let's look that up. Great value crispy rice. Anybody wants to follow along in the chat? I'm not going to look up every single item. I'm going to pull up a few. 130 calories per serving, 0 grams of fat. That's not bad, but here's the problem with these. I'm looking at the label. The ingredients are just rice and sugar, then corn syrup. Rice, sugar, and corn syrup. That is very high glycemic index carbs. It doesn't have it listed here where those would fall in the glycemic index, but somebody else could probably pull that up. There's only 3 grams of protein per serving, 36 grams of carbohydrates, which is a lot of carbs, but that wouldn't be a problem unless you have an issue with carbs, which Chantel has. So for Chantel, this is a poor choice. She could argue that she had cured diabetes back when this video was taken, and she was in better shape at the time, but Salah does game, but I don't know how serious he is about it. I've not been a serious gamer for a while. She was in better shape before. She could starfish then too. If Kuwait lets her back, I'd be shocked. You know, Joanna, I want to say I would be shocked, but Kuwait has been very lax about not enforcing their laws. Because, I mean, Salah and Foodie are not really married, but they've been cohabitating. They've been on the internet. Everybody knows they live together, but they never got raided. They never got in trouble. And I'm sure somebody said something at least once. She's waiting for a tourist visa to clear. I've heard that theory, that she's just waiting in Canada because it's cheaper than going to Thailand, and she thought that she could see a doctor here. They might have just sent her home temporarily. I've heard that as well. Let's let the video run.
Rice Krispies. Rice Krispie squares. You ever have those?
Oh, she's going to use it to make Rice Krispie treats. My mistake. I thought she was going to eat the Rice Krispie cereal for breakfast, and I was thinking, well, it's got it's got sugar, it's got rice, it's not the best, but at least, you know, it could be worse. Nope, she is going to make it worse. She's going to load marshmallow.
I got
This is why you have
Cheerios.
Cheerios. Cheerios are a good example of a cereal that seems healthy on the surface, but is really just a lot of carbs. I don't have to look it up, but Cheerios are not bad in the sense if you want to get carbs, they're a good source of carbs, but they're still just carbs.
I have some Great Value brand Smokies. These are cheese sausages.
Okay, this now is a poor choice. Great Value brand cheese Smokies. That is a very poor choice. When you do put the marshmallow on, they are good. I will say that. But that's not healthy, right? Chantel will definitely go back to Kuwait. But is Chantel better off in Kuwait or is she better off in Canada? That's the question. That's the question. In Kuwait, you could say, well, in Kuwait, she's away from the weed. She's away from natter. She's away from all of her so-called, what did she call it? Her triggering memories. I think that's how she said it. But she's also in the place where she gained 100 pounds in a year. That can't be a good place for her. If you gain that much weight in a year, you're not happy. Yes, you're right. Very, very good point, Nora. Because of the high glycemic index, you digest it quickly. So you eat it and it fills you up quickly. You get energy, but then you get hungry again quickly. Did she ever really live with anyone over there? That's a good question, Joanna. So we suspect that she lived with Salah, but there's a good possibility that she didn't actually live with him the whole time. That they lived together for periods, but they didn't live together the entire time. Who's to say? That's actually an interesting use for them. I like that. Yes, that sausage, and that kind of sausage there, let me go back a bit.
Value brand Smokies. These are cheese.
Okay, these Great Value brand Smokies, I'm going to look them up. I have a feeling they're like 80% fat. Let me try looking these up. Cheese Smokies. Let's look these up. These look absolutely terrible. It's making me go through a press and hold to show that I am not a bot. Okay, I am not a bot. Now it will give me the information.
These sausages. I have some stew beef, some velouté.
Okay,
These
have
a thickener for brown
one
gravy.
sausage link. One of those Great Value sausage links. Let me go back.
New brand Smokies. These are cheese.
A single sausage link is 240 calories, 12 grams of protein. And that's where it stops being good. 21 grams of fat. 21 grams of fat. That means it's about 80% fat calories, 80% fat by calories. Well, maybe not 80, like 70%, but that's still massive. Over 70% fat by calories. And it's yeah, and it's just really not good for you. And let's look at the ingredients. Pork, chicken, and water are the first three, which is good, but it's just a lot of salt and it's a lot of fat because that pork, chicken, and pork and chicken, it's mostly pork fat and chicken fat. So yeah, you don't want to eat Smokies like that. If you're going to get sausages, try to get the low-fat sausages, and even then, be wary of sausage because processed meat is often not the best choice.
These sausages. I have some stew.
It's a good point, trolling. All right. You know what's funny? Chantel bought more halal meat then than she does now. She bought more halal meat on this shopping trip over 2 years ago than she did in her last one. I think that's kind of ironic that she got more halal beef than she does now.
Beef. Some velouté.
All right, stew meat is healthy. I have to agree with that.
This is a thickener for brown.
All right, brown gravy stuff. I don't know what exactly is in there, but I'm going to assume it's loaded with salt. Yeah, 100 pounds is a lot of weight in a year. Mel Mai lost 100 pounds in a year, and that is a massive amount of weight. To gain 100 pounds in a year is even crazier. Welcome to Tangled Bliss. Yeah, Chantel goes wherever she goes. She brings herself with her. Velouté. I've never had that before, but I'm going to assume it's very salty. Nutty doesn't recommend meat from Walmart. I don't like Walmart in general because they have a very I find they're kind of anti-consumer. They're not really good for the local economy. They box out a lot of local businesses. But I'm not going to get into all that. That's a separate subject. But yeah, and she's meanwhile, watch how she sits and eats stuff. Let the video run. She sits and eats.
I love this.
Okay.
I have some fish.
This lemon and dill seasoning packet. I'm not going to look up everything, but I'm going to assume that you add butter to it, and you probably is very salty.
In the freezer.
That said, seasoning packets are not the worst thing because it depends what you add to them.
Some milk.
All right, milk. Dairy milk, unless you're lactose intolerant, dairy milk is a good choice. So I support that decision.
We have some
dairy milk is, I want to say it's 2% milk, I think is 130 calories and 8 grams of protein per serving. So when I would do Cart the Cart, I think was the one who mentioned starting the macro tracking. So like when I would do a glass of milk, I would mark down the calories, I think 130 and 8 grams of protein.
some unsalted butter.
Unsalted butter, unsalted, good for Chantel. Butter, butter is healthier than things like shortening, but it's still fat, you know. Chantel doesn't need more fat.
We have some spicy dill pickle kettle chips.
That's an interesting point. Do you think that was because of her hormone levels as well? Because I know that having a good nutrition can help your body produce hormones, but Chantel has had her glands removed. So her hormone production is abnormal. So I don't know if nutrition would matter even as much, but it still would matter some because, you know, hormones are produced in other ways throughout the body, not just in the reproductive system. But that's the majority of the hormones are produced there. At least I don't think I'm being very accurate, but let me put up my doctor disclaimer. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I'm not really a doctor. If you think you need a real doctor, go get one. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Yeah, if Walmart's the only choice, then then you gotta do what you gotta do. That's awesome, Nutty. Respect. Somebody asked her that in a live chat the other day, and she didn't even deny it. I do drink gravy.
Tostitos rounds.
That face is priceless. I don't know what you'd call that. That is rat face. We talk about rat face. That is rat face. That is true rat face.
Strawberries.
She's so high. Look how high she is. Look how she says strawberries.
Strawberries.
Look how high she is. She's so high.
And
yes.
a big pack of boneless, skinless chicken breast.
That was the first arduous trip to the door to lug groceries up. Now she's back after a second trip down. She's not looking so good. Breathing is pretty bad for a while.
So let me link the clip channel where I got this, because I think the person who put this together is hilarious. Let me check their name again. What's Happening, I think, is the name, or Truth Is, excuse me, Truth is the name of their channel. So I'm putting the link there one more time.
Peppers. Green
I
onions.
can understand. If it happens, it happens. Nutty, you are so right. So many people do that, where they see multigrain on bread or on chips, and they have like this internal, I don't know what it is, but they tell themselves, oh, well, it says multigrain or it says whole grain, so it must be healthy. Not really. I mean, like that's not really a good strategy to use. You know, multigrain or whole grain or whatever is maybe it's healthier than the original, but it's still it's still chips. It's still Tostitos. Okay, so let's let it keep running here. And so let me go back actually a little bit. I missed a few items she bought.
Peppers.
Fruits, good.
Green onions.
Green onions, peppers.
Green peppers.
She's so high she can barely even talk. And she's tired out also from going up the stairs twice.
Banana. I have some celery. Some carrots. Potatoes.
This is a lot of vegetables and fruits she bought. Like, seriously, like, I know for a fact she just used to leave that stuff in the fridge to let it rot. But watching this video, it's very easy to get tricked. This is what we were talking about, how Chantel, when she wants to show the camera what she wants to see, the fruit and the vegetables, to make it look good, she does that. Yeah, the food pyramid is of questionable use these days. I think that's awesome trolling. I've gone off my diet, but I haven't gone off too badly. Like, I've gained a few pounds, but I haven't had any issue with heartburn or anything like that. I've been pretty responsible, so I'm still entitled to a little more sweets. But I think I think at the end of the year is when I'm gonna officially stop. Yes, Nutty. They use things like fresh, multigrain, added vitamins. Another one they use, fat-free. I've seen bananas with a sticker that says fat-free. Okay? I've seen apples with they market it as fat-free. I've seen so much silly stuff marketed as fat-free. I've also seen sausages marketed as sugar-free. So there you go.
Onions.
Notice how Foodie, this is what I mean about Foodie being like kind of lazy. She's sitting in the chair, and instead of getting up to put the stuff in the fridge, she just leans over and reaches over and puts it in. And for anybody just tuning in, we already covered Salah's reaction to garlic bread earlier. So now we're covering a retro react and going over some of Foodie's macros and stuff.
And salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar chips. I'll cover the Ruffles salt and vinegar chips real quick. Let me look those up. Okay, Ruffles salt and vinegar. Let me find a label. Here we go. 150 calories per serving. And sodium is only 190 milligrams in a serving, which is not as bad as I suspected, but it's still pretty decent amount considering it's only for 1 ounce, only for 10 chips, 1 ounce. That's almost 10% of your day's sodium and 10% of your day's fat for one small serving of chips. So can't recommend that. Certainly not for Foodie, at least. Bananas are good. They are good. The only thing I don't like about bananas is you got to really be good about throwing out the peels because they will get fruit flies. You have to really throw out the trash. Like every day you have to take it out. Okay, let's let it keep running a little more.
These extreme creamy garlic and dill.
Okay, so we could assume that those... I love the face she makes too. Like, look at the face she makes.
These extreme creamy garlic and dill.
Like, huh? I don't know. Extreme garlic and dill? Like, I mean, I guess I'm extreme. I guess they're not too extreme for me. I mean, like, she's like, I don't know what that face is supposed to mean. Like, is that supposed to mean that she's surprised that she ate the chips? Or she's surprised that she bought the chips? Or she's like, doesn't realize I don't know. Like, that is just the weirdest face. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But it's a lot of chips, 2 full bags, right? Oh, good night, Nancy. Merry Christmas again. Have a wonderful night. I bet those are good. They might be good if you like creamy garlic and dill. I'm not a huge fan of potato chips. They're a little too salty for me. Oh, no problem, Fiona's mom. Get some rest. You can always watch the replay, right? But glad to have you in there. Thank you for coming in. Hope you have a great night. I bet those are tasty. They might taste okay. Foodie does not eat all these chips. She does not need all these chips.
2 things of these chicken wings.
Okay, chicken wings, frozen chicken wings. Again, this is the kind of stuff where if you're able to limit your portion, good. But I think Foodie's gonna eat the whole box of these.
Are really, really good. Remember, some.
So 650 calories.
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk pancakes.
Just add water.
Again, pancakes are one of those things where if you make pancakes like I make them, they're delicious, they're healthy. But Foodie makes pancakes, I guarantee you she pours on maple syrup and butter.
Oh. Some brownies, because we're going to make pot brownies.
Brownies, because she's going to make pot brownies, because she needs more pot and she needs more brownies. Which does she need less? Which does she need less, the pot or the brownies? I'm not sure which. You have better, you're more disciplined than I am, Nutty.
I think of cheese.
Cheese, Foodie's favorite.
And a thing of spaghettini.
This is the grocery order of 2 adults in their late 30s, who cook maybe once a month. From here till the end,
You know what, Foodie? I mean, excuse me, Foodie. Fiona's mom, she looks so much better than she does now. She looks so much better. Like, she actually looks like a person here. Like, but she's heavy, but she still looks, she looks like a heavy person. Now she's so big and round. She looks more like Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She's gotten so round, like she's lost her human shape. Like it's one thing to be heavy, and it's another thing to get so big that your whole shape just you become round. I think that's what's going on for her. 360 calories. You're very responsible. Takes the cake. That's very responsible. Good to hear that. Welcome in, Twinkle Toes Fondue. Oh, I love that's the cutest little picture you got there. I love that. Yeah, she's lost the human shape. That's what's happened. She's lost her human shape. She's gotten just too big.
Chantal eats a lot. I've cut around most of it, but she talks with her mouth full, so noise remains. Fair warning.
And her skin was much better here too, if you notice. Like, I don't know if she was using as many filters back then,
good.
but I think she wasn't. And if she wasn't using as many filters, her skin was much better. And she had her hair then too. Can't forget that. Like back then, Foodie had hair. And it, her hair wasn't bad.
Oh, almost now.
That hair makes a big difference. And now Foodie starts eating.
This dill dip.
How many pounds do you think she's honestly gained since this video here? Since this video here, she's gained over 100 pounds. But I think she may have gained even more. This video here, she was what, like 350, 340? She was on her smaller side here. I think this was after Natter, after she had lost some weight with him. She's gained well over 100. That is just such a massive amount of weight because she was already heavy to begin with. It's not like she was underweight and she put on 100 pounds and she got heavy. She was already heavy, and then she gained another 100 plus pounds on top of that. So that is just really that's dangerous at that point. It's not just about your looks anymore. At that point, you're putting your health in danger.
Wait. I missed spicy pickled chips. Let's see.
Salad, fish, and veggies. Respect. That sounds so healthy.
Strawberry cream cheese. Maple French toast bagels.
All right, maple French toast bagels. I'm going to look those up because bagels are one of those foods that I think not enough people realize how dangerous they can be. French toast bagel. Let me look it up. Go look up what do you call it? Walmart. Okay. Sam's Choice Cinnamon Toast Bagel. 230 calories for one bagel. 9 grams of sugar, 44 grams of carbs for one freaking bagel. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you know she's covering that with butter and with other stuff too. Yeah, she used to have nice hair.
1 kg bag.
And the hair makes a big difference. Even though it's just tied up, having good hair, it's you know, not that some people can't look good without having hair, but having hair, if your hair is healthy, it's a sign of good health. I mean, you can be healthy and bald, but if you have good hair, it's traditionally a sign of good health.
I got bacon. I got Swiss cheese.
Right? It's crazy.
Nacho cheese blend.
And for anybody who's just come in or anybody watching the replay or anything, part of why I'm calling out Foodie is Foodie has alleged that she's been dieting the last 3 weeks. She alleges that she came back to Canada to work on her health. She alleges that she had to leave her husband to work on her health. Meanwhile, she hasn't lost a pound. She has not lost a single pound, but she's been dieting for over 3 weeks, according to her. Something's not smelling right.
Oven roasted chicken breast.
And it's not the starfish meat. Now she's going to sit here and eat.
I got another turkey chicken meat. These are the sweet beans.
They are. And I'm not going to say I don't like the taste of some bagels. Bagels can taste really good, but just be careful, folks. Bagels are so loaded with carbs. I prefer a rice cake. I know that's cliched, but a rice cake is so much more filling and it's a fraction of the calories. You can 4 rice cakes is less calories you can have like 6 rice cakes, the same calories as that one bagel. You'll be full of rice cakes before you finish 6. Brand is Dempster's. Oh, it might be even more then. I got to look it up. Thank you for check that.
Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese.
She's opened chips, dip, beets, and now cheese. More time is spent eating than putting food away where it belongs. If this is the pattern for every grocery delivery, it looks like Chantal consumes more than half the ordered food in the first day. That's not addiction. That's gluttony.
Okay, it's basically the same. It's basically the same calories. It's 20 calories less, but it's also 5 grams smaller. The amount of sugar is 1 gram less. So it's basically exactly the same. It's just a tiny bit smaller. But thank you for correcting me though, because I do want to give accurate information. And again, here, this is what I think Foodie is doing now. Notice how Foodie is not showing any videos of her buying groceries. Why do you think that is, folks? Do you think it's because she doesn't want us to see all the healthy food that she's getting? Do you think it's because she's afraid that we'll see how she's keeping her word and how the Unicity products are working and how she's really just buying a small amount of healthy food and sticking to her diet? Do you think she's afraid that we'll see that? Or do you think she's afraid that it's going to make her look like a liar? That she's going to not even be able to pack away her groceries without eating them? She won't even make it through the grocery unpacking without polishing off a plate of cookies or something. And she wants us to believe that she's dedicating herself to her health and that she's going to get weight loss surgery. It's so unbelievable. And the lack of any proof, the lack of any evidence just reinforces my belief.
Ooh, stinks.
Yep. Loading it up with cream cheese. You know what, Fiona's mom? I think that's not to be presumptuous, but I think that's the addiction. I think that's the food addiction. I think it's like somebody who, like she just loves the whole experience of the eating. She loves the smell, the taste, the texture. She's just into it so much. Well, I will say she didn't have great hair for her age, but it was much better but now she's bald. I mean, compared to how it is now, that's darn good hair. Like if she could, but the option was there or what she has now, this is 100 times better. I mean, even if it's not the greatest hair in the world. But yeah, just compared to what she does now, though, it's so much better. The only thing she's done is cut out the salad. Rotten starfish meat. Ugh. You like beets, trolling? Beets are so healthy. They're really a good food. I wish I liked beets more. Yep. She's been having poutine, pizza, Harvey's. She has been admitting to that stuff, but she's been claiming that she's only having small amounts. Like when she went to the Chinese buffet, she said she only had 2 plates, remember? And when she went to that fried chicken place, she showed that she only had 2 chicken strips. And when she had that soup, she showed that she only had that 1 small cup. So she is admitting to having the food, but she's not being honest. She's only showing us what she wants us to see. So I agree with you, Twinkle Toes, but I do have to say I think that she's not being 100% honest with that. I think she's just admitting what she wants us to see on that. But she is showing us that much at least. She's not completely lying. Yeah, Nora, you know what? I can respect that. Rice cakes are not for everybody. Some people really hate them, and I can totally respect that. But part of why I like them is because they're not the best. Because if they were really good, you would end up eating too many. At least I would. Egg and avocado on rice cake. That sounds very healthy because the egg is loaded with protein. Avocado is got those HDLs, I think. Of course, with lots of cheese. Taste testing everything. Taste testing. She doesn't even leave any. But what if you're like Foodie and you're always hungry? What do you do then? Does she really live in her car now? Because that's a theory, and nobody, she's refused to show her going live anyplace else, and she just shows herself traveling in the car. I don't want to dox anybody, so please don't dox Foodie if you do know. But I'll just say that I don't really know where she's staying. I think she's staying with her mom or her aunt, but it is what it is. I don't think she's staying with Pete's though, because if she was staying with Pete's, he would have spilled the beans by now.
Oh.
There was no pop as the lid opened. She voices concern that it was tampered with, but if you think that stops her, you must be new.
Yeah, right? She opens it up. It doesn't pop, which means that the lid was not sealed 100%. What does she say?
YOLO.
YOLO. And know something else? That's such addict behavior. Look at her eyes when she eats. I'm not one of these people who insists that everybody's body language is the same. I think that's one of the flaws with body language analysis, is that one person's body language can say something different than somebody else's. Although there are a lot of things that people can share, there are things that it can be different. One of the things I think that would go for anybody is when you look around, when you do something, it tends to mean that you're either self-conscious or you're nervous, or there's something's on your mind. Look at Chantel's eyes when she eats this cheese. What's she looking at? What's she afraid? Like, who's she worried is going to steal it? Right? It's like, have you ever seen a dog when they eat, especially if they're a stray or a street dog, they keep looking around when they're eating. Maybe you might see that if you have a coworker, they were raised in a rough neighborhood, or they went to public school. They, like when they eat, they kind of like hunch over their food and like put their arms around it so nobody can take it. Like you could learn those habits if you've been to like institutionalized. Chantel lived in the group home for a while, so we could argue that that's where she learned that behavior. But she's been out of that group home for so long that I think that's just her natural food addiction. They have too many goodies. She's only eating the junk. She bought all those vegetables, but she's only eating the junk. But I totally get your troll.
Concrete on my golf ball.
It is dangerous to do it shopping while hungry. But she's always hungry. That is a, it takes the cake. We could joke a little bit, but the truth is, Chantel needs probably 3,000 plus calories a day just to maintain her body weight. She carries so much body fat that just moving around with all that extra weight would burn thousands of calories a day. You're only eating what, 340 calories for dinner. You're either you're trying to lose weight or you're just, maybe you're just not a very big person. But your diet, Foodie would be losing pounds literally per day if she was eating like you. She would be losing 10 pounds a week if she was eating 300, 400 calorie type meals. So that just shows what BS her whole diet and all of her food stuff is. Really? I've never seen this. I've seen like different types of cheeses in the States. I have to look into it more. I haven't really looked into the different varieties we have. But I do know we have just we have a few different
spicy
varieties.
Dill pickle chips and dill pickle dip.
I'm glad you agree.
Cool.
2/3 of the dip. Foodie is just so bad when it comes to the dips and the condiments and stuff. Like she eats caloric food already, but then she makes anything, even if she eats something healthy like a vegetable, she dips it in ranch, she dips it in mayonnaise, she dips it in cheese, cream cheese.
Raven? No.
Very nice.
I've never.
I do like cheese. And that's part of why I don't like Foodie. Because she gives cheese a bad name. If somebody watches her, they're going to think that cheese is she eats so much cheese, they're going to blame the cheese for her problems. But no, don't blame the cheese. Blame Foodie. That is true. 2 plates filled all the way up.
I ate this whole container of dip.
So quirky, so random. It's the way she eats this stuff too. Like this is when people complain about they miss the old Chantel. This is what you're missing. Like I could see missing this because this is a spectacle. Just to watch this, like it's a spectacle. It's like reality TV. Watching Chantel eat herself into a diabetic crisis is, it's hard to look away. It's got that train wreck thing going for it. So yeah, I can understand people who miss the old Foodie. It's hard not to watch.
Marissa?
I think so too.
My jar of beans
We're doomed.
didn't pop when I
Yes.
opened it. And it looked like there was a spot where there was a bean missing. So I said, should I eat it? Because if the seal's broken, right? But I decided to chance it and I ate one bean. And now if I don't croak, I'm going to continue to eat the beans.
Actually, you know what, Nutty? I thought you were joking, but seriously, anybody, if you're listening, and I'm dead serious right now, if you are really struggling with food to the point where you've done everything you can and you just feel hopeless, and when I talk about things like moderation and having a treat day, and that just sounds crazy to you, you're like, I don't know how I can't control myself, I don't know what to do. It's okay to get help. It's okay to admit you have a problem and get help. If you cannot control your weight, if your weight is ballooning up despite your best efforts, you might have a problem. You might need to go and get some help. You might need to go to a clinic or something like that. And there's no shame in getting help if you need help. So I just want to say that when I mock Foodie, it's because she makes light of her very serious health problem. If you're anybody suffering from any real health problems, please get help. You know, if you need a doctor, get one. Like I say. Now back to the joking. It's fresh, right? Even the one that wasn't sealed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you just watched a 37-year-old woman lick her fingers clean of chip residue instead of washing her hands.
You know what? I hate myself for doing that on occasion. I don't do that often, but I catch myself doing that sometimes. Like if I'm eating something and I'll start licking my fingers and I'll feel terrible when I do it. Foodie does it on camera. She doesn't even feel bad.
No, she does not get up and wash her hands at any point after this repugnancy.
Also, pick up. Whoa.
I think so too, Twinkle Toes. I don't have any evidence, and I wouldn't share it even if I did. But I think that's where she is. She's like a feral person. It's like the way she hunches over her food and looks around. Yeah, food aggression. She like with Julia. Remember when Julia would show up? Like she would fight with Julia over the food. Carrot, apples, and peanut butter. That sounds good. Actually, I haven't had any of that in a while. I think I might try some of that. Maybe she did time in prison. Well, that time she did wasn't she locked in the apartment in Kuwait? She wasn't allowed to leave, remember? You know, if you own his mom, I could understand that. It can take a lifetime to unlearn certain things. You know, not everybody can. So, you know, it just is what it is sometimes. You know, respect for understanding it though. Yeah, her system is never at rest. Oh, you're just the healthy rudders. Yeah, she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle the exercise portion either, right? The dip is almost gone. She dips more than a truck driver who quit smoking. She is not interested. No, she's not interested in losing weight. She wants to lose the weight, but she is so not interested. Yes, and it is mindless eating. She's not thinking about the nutrition. She's not thinking about what she needs or anything. She's not going to change. No, let's let it keep running.
Those are big pickles.
Mm-hmm. Eats like Augustus, looks like Violet. Yeah, they go so well together, though, right?
Me too.
Let me knock off the banner so you folks can see what they're saying on the screen. I'm sorry, let me go back here.
I'm having some of pizza's in there. Me too.
Welcome in, welcome in.
And to make things worse,
she's so nasty. The way she just grabs the food, goes to the bathroom, doesn't wash her hands. No, she didn't break. No, there was no seal, Kim Valena. On the pickles, there was no seal. It was already broken when she bought it, and she's like, "Oh well, I'll just eat it. Who cares?" Oh, and Skinny Queen is going to be... I don't know if Skinny Queen is coming on tonight, but if she is, I will be sending you folks over there. Let me actually take a look, see if she is.
All right. At all.
If she is not, we may send you someplace else. We'll see. I can understand that. That's very true. Growing up, I didn't learn about nutrition. I really didn't. Oh, welcome in, Hippieista. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas, wonderful holidays. And that goes for anybody. Anybody I've welcomed in, hope you had a fantastic holidays. I've had a good time myself. Oh, let me just share also for Christmas, we made over here at Casa de Docta Phil at the surgery, Dr. Phil's Medical Center. We made a duck, and we had stuffing. And it was really, really good. The skin was so crispy. The duck was perfectly cooked. Yeah, just really good meal. Oh, we had brownies for dessert.
I feel like watching a Miyazaki movie with pizza.
I don't know how she can. I don't think she can do anything at this point. I don't even think she could starfish. Like I think that if Natter was like if Natter wanted to like hook up, I think that she would question. I think she would, but there'd be a question if she'd be able to. Like partway through, she might not be able to. Like he might not be able to lift her anymore. Like he's not a big guy, you know. Like even with the I'll call them beer muscles to be polite. Even with the beer muscles, I don't think he has the strength to lift her or to lift the fupa out of the way at this point. I'm sure she would.
I want to eat much more.
And does Pete seem like the kind of guy who would stand up to her either? Does Pete seem like the kind of guy who would be like, hey, I'm buying this food for myself, Foodie. Please don't eat it. She'd be like, don't worry, Pete, I won't. Next day, Foodie, did you eat my food? The cat ate it. Stupid cat. That's probably what happened. Well, thank you always, Chevy Silverado girl. Hope you were doing well yourself.
Smell like something tropical.
Food is her cope. And watching her eat like this is what's going on off camera right now. Why am I showing this retro react when I am? Because Foodie has been somewhat honest, and people in the chat have pointed that out. She has admitted to going out to eat, but she still has not been showing on camera let's just call it what it is, the binges. This was a binge. You get demonetized for binging now. Back when this was recorded, you were allowed to. I don't know if this is still allowed to be shown or not. Maybe this video will get taken off. And if it does, the heck with it. It is what it is. I'm going to call it like what I see it. This is her binging. Right now, she's not allowed to use the word binge anymore. But this is what I think she's doing off camera. She just used to put it on camera because she didn't care who saw it. Now she's trying to pretend like she's healthy. She's trying to get her blood sugar down so she can get back into Kuwait, which I don't know if that's her plan or not. I think it is, but... yeah, wash your hands.
This is why Pete hides his M&Ms.
I guess that's true. You know what, Capone Boxer? I totally understand that. That's why what I'll do for myself is I won't let me buy large amounts of certain things. Like if I bought brownies the other day, I didn't make a whole box of brownies. I just bought a package from the bakery because that way I could only eat so many. Because I know that if I baked a whole tray of brownies, they wouldn't last long. Maybe a day or a couple days at most. Maybe Natter isn't interested in her anymore. I bet she tried. Or you know what it could be? It could be that she's gotten so big, like I said, that the idea of sex just isn't even, like she doesn't have the agility to even starfish. You know? That's what I'm thinking. Of course he ate his food. He wouldn't stand up for himself. Did he even reach out to say hello? Allegedly they spoke. QZ, and welcome into anybody who's come in. If I missed you, welcome in again to Capone Boxer. I think she's reached out to Pete's. Is she living with him? Is she planning to? I think, let me go out on a limb. Let's do a conspiracy here. Since nobody really knows for sure, let's do a little conspiracy. And you folks can tell me what I'm thinking or what you're thinking. Does anybody else think that Foodie is working on her visa to get back into Kuwait? But if she is unable to get that through, that she is going to move in with Pete's. That's my think. That's my thinking. That she does not want to move in with Pete's, but he's such a pushover, like Kimberlana said, like Timu BBJ pointed out. He is such a pushover that if she could get anything out of him, especially now that he's working, so he has a little bit of money again, whatever little he has, that I think that that's what she's going to do. She doesn't want to move in with him unless she knows that she can't go back to Kuwait, because he's not going to agree to move in with her if she's going to move right back out again. At least I don't think she's going to fall for that. There you go. Nutty with the info here. Pete has said he would consider moving back in with Foodie because he liked living with her, right? He enjoyed when she would take his snacks. And, yeah, but she hasn't asked him. He said it in his live the other night. Well, thank you for coming up. Thank you for the info, Nutty. she could have a health issue having sex. She could have a blood pressure issue. She might get lightheaded. She could stroke out. She could straight up stroke out. I mean, I'm not even being rude. She could honestly stroke out, especially if she's getting high at the same time. And I don't mean off some weed. I mean, if she's using that bad stuff, that bad-ish with natter and sexing, that might be all her heart could take. You know what, Patty? That's not a bad idea. I try to do that some days. I find that if I eat early in the day, a lot of times I don't really need to. I just get hungry in the morning because I like to eat. But I could usually fast throughout the morning and I'll be just fine. And it's a lot easier to maintain my weight. Ooh, that's an interesting point. She got used to looking at Salah. He's much better looking than Natter. Yeah, Natter's kind of short, isn't he? Or at least he's very scrawny. He's one of those guys that he looks shorter than he is because he's so scrawny. It's like if you're very thin, you look shorter. And I think he's got that issue. Like we know he wears multiple shirts. Not just her eating too. She has such low self-esteem. She has someone to pretend to love her outside of her. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. Somebody had something here earlier. Who said that? Nirvana said, I wonder what was the underlying trauma with Foodie. It's a good question. It's a good question. I think if I had to guess, I'd say that she never really got that love growing up, that sense of self. She never really got that sense of self-worth, like she felt worthwhile as a person, as a child. She didn't feel comfortable. She didn't have that relationship with her father and her mother at a young age, maybe that she wanted or that she needed, perhaps. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't say for sure. You know, I can only guess. Let me catch up with some of this chat here. Yep, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I have to do, Nirvana. That's why I keep myself healthy. I just don't allow myself to stock up on foods that I like too much. Yep. No, she can't live with him. It's haram. But hold on a second. I thought she found a loophole. She said Pete's not really a man, right? Right? Even he said so. I mean, if you're gonna go by the letter of the law, I mean, I guess that's a loophole, right? He is working, and there's a lot of places that if you're working and you have an income, even if you have terrible credit, they'll still give you a place. If she has enough income from her channel, along with his income from his job, they could potentially have enough to get a place, even if they have terrible credit. Yeah, and again, she lies so much. Who knows what the truth is? That makes sense too. He takes the cake. I could totally see that. If she, Foodie wants to go back to Kuwait, very possibly because she could live with Salah. What did we call Salah? Tall Pete's. If you're going to live with Pete's, might as well live with a better Pete's. Pete's is live and it's all about food. He really wants Foodie to show up. The health reasons thing is such BS because at first I kind of believed it. I didn't believe it because I believed Foodie, but I believed it because I knew it was true. I knew that she really did have diabetes. I mean, I didn't know it, but I was sure of it. And I was aware that Kuwait was strict about who it allows into the country based on health. So given those facts, that's why I believed it. But I don't really know if it is or it isn't. Why? The EMTs, they would have to send a second truck because the two of them wouldn't be able to lift her. Wow, that's kind of messed up if that's true. But I mean, if that's true, it's what she's got to do. Good point, Nirvana. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's something, right? Possibly. Whatever it was, she certainly learned that food is her crutch. Food is food. I mean, look at her eating. Non-stop for 4 hours straight. That's the title of the video. This is clipped, but I think this is from actually originally a 4-hour stream.
We could just not tell him that we bought any. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and you know something, there's always going to be a lot of speculation with that. At age 15, it's questionable if Foodie was already had issues, or if that, did the issues start there, or did the issues continue there? Is what I want to say. Was she already having issues, and that's why she was messing with men at that age, or was that what led to other issues? Who's to say? Sometimes it goes in the opposite direction, where she was already, sneaking out and messing with other guys, and then she messes with an older guy as well. So who knows what happened there? The way that's how she describes it. She always described it as she went over there and that it was her idea. But who knows what really happened, right? We don't really know. But yeah, she was raised by TV and food, and regardless of what, I think it's human nature to want to look for an explanation. But sometimes, sometimes people are just crappy people. They're just brats. I hate to say it, but sometimes it's true. Yeah, like a lot of bad behavior. I mean, was it nature versus nurture? This is an endless discussion, and we're never going to really know. We're never going to really know, because even Foodie doesn't know for sure. She was a child. She doesn't know exactly what was going on then. Allegedly, mom did not want the child, right? Well, they gave her food and pretended to love her, right? Salah's not in Canada with her, right? She wishes that he was. Ooh, the way she treats her pets says a lot. That is interesting. I never really had pets growing up, but I always, I don't mistreat them. The fact that she mistreats her animals, it doesn't say anything good. I don't know exactly what it says, but yeah, I thought so. Well, I will say, Fiona, I don't think you fell for it. I think it was logical. Logically, Foodie's health is in the toilet. Logically, she needs to get it treated. So I wouldn't say that's being fooled. I think that's more just she's fooling herself if she thinks that her health is not so serious that she should not be making that her number one priority. I mean, that's the truth. If we want to really look at it scientifically, her health is her main issue. If she wants to ignore it and chase Salah and chase food, well, that's her decision. But her health is her serious issue, and she did look ill, and she does look ill. It helps her forget her problems. It's her drug. End of. Yeah, right? Not everybody who ends up on drugs and has a tragic story always. But they often do. They often do. She was always a creep, regardless of how she got there. I heard, yeah, right. I heard that she was wild even when she was young. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, and that is true too. I mean, you said yourself, Fiona's mom, you said that you had a bit of a difficult upbringing, and it sounds like it made you stronger. Whereas some people, it can break them. So who's to say? Very, very poor pet owner. And it gets me, it's one thing to be a bad pet owner and to realize it and to say, well, I'm not going to have any more pets. That just wasn't for me. But to keep getting more pets and treating them badly is terrible. That's just unforgivable.
However far away. Oh, you hate farting, Liliana? I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Oh, get some rest, Charlie. No problem. Good night.
Actually, I can mute.
You're darn right.
Wanted to rejecting
I bet he's well taken care of.
Actually, farting is gross, but it's also funny. To me, it's funny. But some people get grossed out. I know some people like you, Liliana, who get really grossed out by it.
You know something? It takes the cake. I have to say that it can be a cultural thing, because I have some family from the old country, I guess we'll just say, and they were always overfeeding me as a child. I wasn't raised by them, so it wasn't like a big issue. But I think that they instilled that mentality into one of my parents, into my father, and he overfed me. Partly because when he was growing up, he was taught that was normal.
Whoa. Hello. Does anyone know?
You know, QZ? I could answer that. She does get bored to death. That's why she gained the 100 pounds. Because she was bored as heck in Kuwait. Bored as hell, I'll say it. She had nothing to do. She just sat there and ate all day long because Salah is just an empty. He's an android. He looks like a human, but he has no human emotion. Yeah, BBJ's fur was matted. Not pleasant to see. Hey, Skinny, are you planning to go on? And are you planning to go on tonight? I don't know how she does not get bored. Yeah, no, she does. She absolutely does, in my opinion. I'm glad you agree. Glad you agree. Well, I was growing too fat as well, but I mean, it is what it is, right? I learned as I got older, I learned healthier eating habits. She's eating M&Ms like she's eating rice. She's you are what you eat, Nirvana, because she has become an M&M. She's turned into an M&M from eating too many M&Ms. That's an interesting thing, Maggie. That's interesting. I hope that leads to some positive developments for you. That's an interesting revelation there. Right? We could learn so much sometimes. I know that some families it's the opposite. Yeah, it is like that where they're very concerned about maintaining a low weight, a healthy weight. So yeah, it's whatever it is. We want to have healthy eating habits, and there's all kinds of ways to be unhealthy. And I definitely encourage healthy eating habits, regardless of regardless of the way that whether it's overeating or undereating. Don't do that. Oh, no problem, Skinny Queen. No problem, Skinny Queen. Oh, well, hey, Samantha, I'm glad you enjoy it. If you're watching if you make it to the end here, welcome in, and I hope you're. Please click like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Hopefully, come back and see you again. That's really what she wants, is just a mindless drone to bring her food. Salah's close to mindless. Some men like looking big. I mean, I don't know about like fat big, but they like looking like muscular big. I think of that. They like to have the the big arms and the strong legs. Well, but it sounds like you're making good progress, right? That's the right direction. Welcome in, Yellow Moon. Welcome in. We're actually running toward the end of the show tonight. But we're still glad to have you in. Glad you can make it. You know what, Fiona's mom? I think you might be right about that. I think he probably has he's probably more personable in his native language because he does have a sense of humor. And I think that part of it is that he can't be himself around Foodie. I think that's also part of it. It's not just the language. It's that he cannot be himself. If he was being himself, he would probably be sitting here with us laughing about Foodie. But he's Foodie. Foodie is his boss. He's not allowed to make fun of his boss. When you're at work, can you be yourself? Right? When you're at work, you can't be yourself. Everybody in the workplace needs to be a little bit different than they are at home. You have to dress more formally, or you have to dress in work clothes. You have to speak differently. You have to be more tolerant of people's disrespect. There's things you have to put up with in the workplace that you wouldn't have to put up with otherwise. And I think that's what's going on with Salah. I think that he has to be kind of robotic because he doesn't want to upset Foodie, because that's who pays his bills. Don't want to piss off the boss, right? Some men like the dad bod. Hey, well, I guess some moms like the dad bod, right? I mean, and I think that there's a difference between being heavy and being, massively obese. I think that some people, they look good with a few extra pounds. It suits their frame. It fits them in the right places. So I think it varies. Other people, they gain a little weight and it doesn't look as good. So I guess it just depends on your frame. Some people, their frame is more suited to carrying the weight. Some people are built very small and every pound, really shows on them. Chantel, I have to say, I don't know for sure because I've never seen Chantel at a low weight, but looking at her body, I would estimate that her natural weight is probably on the small side. Like, she's not a large framed woman. She's narrow. She doesn't have big shoulders. She's not tall. She doesn't have big hips. She doesn't have big booty. She doesn't have big boobs. She's very slightly built. So I think that, like, that's why her shape is so round, because the fat doesn't go to the places where it normally would. Like she's naturally very slight. You know what I mean? I don't know. I try to be trim, but I've always been heavy, but I like to be trim. But I guess everybody's different, right? Everybody has their own ideal shape. Some guys, they like to be really big and muscular. That's what they like. I don't. I just like to be average. Like, you know, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit on the broad side, but yeah, I guess I'm a little bit more on like the heavily built side. But I'm never gonna be skinny. You know, it's just my natural frame. But as long as I'm not too fat, I look pretty good. Well, there's no feeling. Yeah, exactly, QZ. Because he's an employee. I always say that. He's absolutely an employee. He is not, he doesn't love Foodie. He doesn't even like Foodie. He just works for her. Oh, I think you're right, Kiki Kincaid. I totally agree with that. Reese Witherspoon, or with a little bit more, or even Christine. I think Christina Ricci carries the weight better than Chantel would. Absolutely. I think even that's being generous. I think Chantel is not wouldn't even be able to carry. I don't even think she'd look good at Christina's weight, to be honest. I think Chantel would only. I don't know. She just doesn't have like a good frame, in my opinion. But that's just what, you know. Yeah, she just doesn't really have. She would be very square if Chantel was skinny and she didn't have she didn't lose the weight. Like, if she was naturally skinny, she'd be very square. That's what I think. Like, she'd be boxy. Boxy, that's the word for it. She'd be very boxy if she was small. Yeah, I like to be fit, but I'm not that fit. So, I mean, I like to be fit, but I settle for being chubby. I like to be fit. I settle for being chubby, right? Let me put my little video on.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Phil. I'm going to get some sweets and some pizza. I'm going off my diet a little bit today.
That's me. She's apple shaped. Yeah, that is very much so. Very much so. All right, everybody. I think we've had a really good show tonight. I'm glad everybody came. We got Hannibal in the chat. I don't know if he's planning to do a show tonight, but I don't see him doing one. I know that Skinny's not. Hannibal, you planning to do a show, or I could send everybody over there? Otherwise, I think I'm going to be signing off. Oh, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. I feel like when I keep my weight down, I look good. Oh, thank you, Fiona's mom. I appreciate that. It's good night, everybody. I don't see Hannibal coming on, so I'm going to say that I think it's good night for him as well. Or maybe he's off to go watch something else. You don't have to go to sleep, but you can't stay here, right? That's how they say. Oh, welcome in, Gragathy. We're shutting it down for the night, but thank you for coming in. Oh, welcome in, Freedom Deep. Thank you for coming in, but we are shutting it down. Everybody, be blessed. Have a great night. Oh, thank you, Jess. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Nirvana. You know what? It took me a long time to lose the weight, and it takes a lot of dedication to keep it off. So I appreciate those compliments, and they motivate me to stay, to keep that weight off. You know, you use it for motivation, right? All right, everybody, have a great night. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, enjoy it. And I will see y'all next year, or maybe I'll see you before next year. I don't know. We'll see. I might show up. I might be around. All right. Good night, everybody. Oh, and thank you to everybody who's watching the replay. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have a great night. Bye-bye.